Got to make sure I can get through this. My son joined Cubs Boy Scouts in 1993. And in, about 6 months later, middle of December, the troop committee had a meeting, and they were not happy with the current scoutmaster. So I was asked to serve as scoutmaster. There's that word serve again. I went home and told my wife.
1 hour a week, right?
No, 1 hour a week wasn't even a thought in those days. That came later, much later. When we got to the district level and started doing stuff, it became the joke. There was a gentleman that lived across the street from us. He was at that time about 84, 85 years old. She said, "You need to go talk to Sam." Okay. Sam had earned his Eagle in 1929. This was before they restricted it to youth, because scoutmasters could earn their Eagle as well. That's the reason. He had been scoutmaster of troop, and that was the reason that my wife had told me to go talk to him. And I went and talked to him. His words were me. None of us deserve to be scoutmaster. And lo and behold, probably in the next year, I will start my third term as scoutmaster of our troop. I've moved in and out, up and down, backwards and forwards, over the 33 years that I've been in scouting as a leader. There have been enjoyable moments. There have been moments that I've regretted. And for a lot of reasons, I didn't take advantage of the opportunity to lift a young man up that needed to be lifted up because he had made a mistake. I merely knocked him down for making the mistake. That's one of those regrets. There have been other times that we had a group that we took on the Appalachian Trail, and I didn't know that 8 days prior to us starting on that trek on the Appalachian Trail, that the other leader had had surgery on the arteries in his neck for blood flow, circulation. We covered about, I'm going to guess, 40 to 45 miles in that 5-day period, about 5 miles a day. I guess it was probably 25 to 30 miles instead. I covered the 45 miles. We had one scout that had, he said he had asthma problems, had an inhaler and all that good kind of stuff. He would lag behind. The other group would take off and leave him. So it started out that the other leader was pulling drag on the crew. So I was in between the scout and my other leader, and I was staying up with this other scout so that he wouldn't be by himself. And then I'd drop back to check on the other leader when he wasn't showing up. So every mile that we covered, I was doing 2 miles. I wasn't happy with the other leader when I found out that he had had surgery 8 days prior to. But anyway, that's my story from Scoutmastership. Some of the things that I have experienced, I wouldn't want anybody to experience in that same position. Some of the things that I have experienced, I would love for them to have those experiences. Holding a worship service on Sunday in about 25-degree weather, when all that they can think about is I'm cold at a camporee. We used to do winter camporees in our council. Winter camp is kind of taken over those. But those are some of the things that we've experienced over the years. And I've got other tales too. I've been informed that the next Region 5 Scouters Conference, Catholic Scouters Conference, I should put that in front of it. The tentative date is January 30th, February 1, 2026. Because Lent starts on February the 18th. Early Lent is next year. So that means early Easter. Cold vigil, he says. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the good vigil mass. Holy.
30 January, 1st of February?
Yes.
Is the location set?
That's up to the committee that decides to take it on. I mean, I will say this right now. I'm not averse to having it back here. I have a very high aversion to being in charge of it.
I don't blame you.
If I may, Jim?
Yes.
The idea, what we would love to do, is have this rotate throughout the region. Last year, we did the first one in the Gatlinburg area. This year, Jim and his committee volunteered to take it on here in Nashville. We'd love to see it in Kentucky, Mississippi, Louisiana, Alabama.
Memphis.
I don't know where everyone's from. I mean, I don't know what states.
We should
do we
introduce
have-
everybody.
Louisiana
Well-
represented?
I've got something to tell you. First, the patch that is this, it's got the date on it and it's got a button loop, will not arrive until February 25th, 3 days from now. So we're going to have to mail them to you. And we've got to collect your mailing address. Okay? That's the only way we can get it to you. Andrew?
Quick idea, we could add on the survey for you to put your mailing address on there if you promise to fill out the survey.
I'm going to do one better than that. Free time is coming up from 3 to 6. Okay? Now, 6 o'clock is kickoff for the vigil mass. Don't be late, because we're going to start at 6 o'clock. I'm not word with that schedule, 6 o'clock's kickoff. Okay? So that means you gotta be back here at 5:45.
He is now.
Nashville traffic got a hold of me this morning.
Well,
Did pretty well until today.
okay. I will have a list of all participants that are here, as well as the 2 gentlemen that are not here, for very good reasons. And it'll have a slot on there for you to fill in your mailing address, city, town, zip code, or city, state zip code is what I should say.
Father, to answer your question, we do not have representatives here from Alabama or Louisiana.
No.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Last
Ken
was here from Louisiana.
I mean, geographically, Mississippi, like northern Mississippi, might be the kind of the center of everything, but it's a little
Well,
way
that-
from Lexington. But at least it's a lot closer to Louisiana, so I don't know what to say.
Jackson, Mississippi would be a good location. Actually, quite frank, Birmingham would be a good location.
I would love to see it out of Tennessee. Not that I have any issue with Tennessee. I live here, I enjoy living here, but I'd like to see it spread around.
Well, and Jim, the only way we got through it was the other committee helped us, and that
Well-
was standing on the Giants thing, right?
Where the whole part of that is, and I've already told Ken this, when we started this, I pulled out a 3-ring binder, 3-inch ring, 3-ring binder, and I started filling it up as we progressed through the planning. And I'm going to caution you right now, start today. Okay? That way you've got almost 365 days. And the first, don't worry about location, okay? Don't worry about facilities, don't worry about meals. Talk about, generate ideas for the program. Because, yes, I had a program chairman. He was very good, but we wrestled mightily with what to present and how to present it. And that's going to be the big issue, is finding out how you can do what we have done here in a way that is educational and beneficial to those that you're serving. Any other thoughts, comments?
Just a question or request. I don't know if you're planning on it, but it would be nice to have a roster of the names and addresses of everyone who's here or registered for communication purposes afterwards, if that's available.
As soon as I get the names and the addresses, I'll probably put it in a PDF and fire it off in email. Okay? I thought the page with your name printed on it was the easiest way to get the addresses. Okay? Any other questions, comments?
I'm gonna have to go at 3, because I got mass at 6.
Okay.
That's one reason why it's really helpful to have it here, is because it's so convenient for me in terms of travel. And, so, anyway, I just wanna say, location really does make a lot of difference in a way.
It does.
Availability, but
I don't disagree with that, and but it would be difficult for a different diocesan committee to actually plan something and hold it here again. Although we could coordinate with our Knights of Columbus as we have done in the past. You're free to go.
Thank you.
Thank you.